Hi, everybody. Welcome to another 3 Questions with Andrew. I am joined today by Andee Simpson from Orangily. Welcome, Andee.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. You were one of our early supporters, one of our first bottle shops to bring in Cut Above. Also, one of the first bottle shops I visited outside of the state. So you, your sister, and everything that you do there holds a special place for me. So thanks for that.
Thank you. I was going to mention that right when we opened, you were one of the first visitors we had, and it just meant so much to us. I just remember thinking, I can't believe a CEO is here visiting us.
Awesome. It was, I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
So let's jump right into it. All right. So question one is, right, you're on the forefront. You talk with a lot of brands. Y'all are very discerning about what you sell. You all have a commitment to being very knowledgeable about what you have to offer in your stores. As 2025 gets started, do you have anything that you're sort of seeing being on trend within the space? Any things you sort of would predict for this year, different than 2024, that you'd like to share with us?
Oh, gosh. Well, first, I want to say thank you for acknowledging our product knowledge. I think that's one of the value props of a small bottle shop. The handful that are all over the country is that we really care about these brands and we really care about these drinks. But I think 2025 is going to be an incredible year for these types of drinks. I think what we're going to see more than anything is curiosity. I think more people are open to the idea of different drinks, zero proof, cut cocktails, different ingredients. I think you're going to see a lot of new ingredients that have a heat or spice or interesting combinations. I think adaptogens are still going to go pretty strong. Drinks that make you feel energized or make you feel calm or help you react to stress. But I think just the mixology, I think you're going to see a lot more interesting drinks doing interesting things and people coming in curious to try different things. I don't drink anymore, and I'm in the minority of people that shop at our store just because a lot of people are just trying to cut back, or they're on medication, or they're doing 75 hard, or there's just a million reasons why people are looking for different options these days. But I think I'm just going to say the trend is curiosity.
Yeah, I love that. That's been my same experience everywhere I go, whether it's an event or just right out and about at a bar or restaurant. People, even if they don't think it's for me, I get right, you can kind of tell that person coming up, they're like, I don't know, a non-alcoholic whiskey, sure, I'll try it, right? I love that, right? Curiosity always wins. And sometimes they're like, hey, this is just not for me, but I know someone who would love this for whatever reason, right? You mentioned the million reasons. So yeah, I agree. I think that's a strong prediction for the year.
Awesome.
Question number 2. All right, so let's reflect back since you, and maybe share a little bit about when you started Lawrence and some of the origin of that. Has there been anything that sort of has been surprising that you didn't expect to get out of it, that's sort of been pleasant, right? Help motivate you to continue on since you joined?
Well, I think we're approaching our 3rd year in business. And when Kristen and I started this business, it was just, we both have a background in business. We both have a background in tech. So we knew what we were getting into, but I just had no way to anticipate the growth and the scale. So just like opening a business is a fun idea. It's been a fun project, but just learning more about finance and bookkeeping and taking risks and watching this scale and grow and being resilient. I think non-alcoholic has seasons, or it certainly has seasons in the Midwest, where we have very cold winters and very hot summers and holidays and times where people get together and things like that. So just learning to ride the waves, learning to be resilient, just watching this business grow and scale and gaining confidence in actually being a business owner, I think has been challenging and unexpected and incredibly fun.
Yeah, the space is just like chock full of entrepreneurs. There's not like a family business that was passed down, right, in non-alcohol. So everyone is new to it, right? Sometimes new to the beverage industry altogether, myself included. And so that sort of shared learning, I think I always say, even though, right, there's brands out there, right, we directly compete with, there's, partner brands that we pair with, that we're all still kind of in this, small analogy, right? We're all in this little bay. And so we all experience the same things and learn together, which I think is pretty neat. It's like this little high school class kind of moving throughout the different grades.
It truly is. It's like we're a cohort. It's like I was nervous about meeting people and building relationships, but a lot of us are in the same boat. And whether joining ANBA or being in just making deals together or doing events together, it becomes a smaller and smaller community, and everybody's wonderful. Everybody's excited and supportive.
I love that. I love that about this community.
Yeah.
I want to actually do a question 2B. Something that you mentioned was the seasonality within non-alcoholic. How does that express itself? Is it during the summer months, canned is more popular, winter it's more cocktails, or like does wine become more popular? Like, can you share a little bit more detail about that?
Oh my goodness. Let me think about specifics. So
Sure.
dry January, people have been historically in our stores going strong throughout February. We're
Okay.
about to go into a little dip, March, April, May. And then something Indianapolis is famous for is the Indianapolis 500. And there are so many events leading up to this, Rev and all of these social events where people are at the track and you have to have canned beverages. So specific for the Midwest, we sell a lot of canned beverages in the summer that you can't take glass to a pool, you can't take glass to a track. So that is definitely a very canned beverage friendly season. Going into the holidays, people want to bring a nice bottle of wine to their family for a holiday dinner for Thanksgiving and for the way they celebrate holidays with their families. So sometimes people say, I'm not ready to tell them I'm pregnant yet, and I want to bring something. I mean, there's so many funny reasons and meaningful reasons, but I would say that is definitely a wine season. Dry January and in the middle of winter, it's kind of like anything goes. People are like, I'm trying to cut back. I'm doing dry January. What do you got? Like, there's cut above, and there's all of these options of like layering and putting things together and mixing different things that we have. I think it's a time where people are definitely in Indiana. It's very dark and it's sad and it's freezing cold and nobody's going out. So people are curious and ready for options and just want something kind of fun to get us through. But that's a good question. I would say anything goes right now, and then cans in the summer and wines in the winter.
Yeah, fair. No, thanks for sharing that insight with us. So we're to our last question, which is just meant for anyone watching this just to get to know you personally a little bit better. And so it's kind of a grab bag. So some ideas, right? If you have a weird food combination, favorite song to karaoke to, hidden talent, anything that you just like to share with us to get to know Andee a little bit more.
Oh gosh. Well, I'll give you two. One is business related and one is Andee related.
Okay.
This is embarrassing, but for karaoke, I like that song, Gloria. Who sings that? I'm not going to sing it now, but it's from, I think, the late 70s.
Yeah, just
Anthem. I love that song.
Awesome.
And if I'm really having a good day at the shop, that's probably what I'll be listening to on the way home. And then the other thing is that so many brands have so many interesting names, and they are Greek or they are fanciful, or I mean, some are just really creative. And Chris and I are always kind of like, oh, kind of taking a couple guesses. But then Kristen did this thing where she asked founders to record an MP3 of how they pronounce the names. So we have all of these little tiny clips that we have in our product handbook at our shop, where it's like the CEO being like, this is how you say our name, and this is why we're called this. And it has helped so much because I've been really off for a lot, but now I feel like pretty confident. Like
you should take those, put them all together, put like a little beat behind them, and release like a little mini track. Like that would be really funny.
That's such a good idea. Well, see, I'm sort of the shy one of the group. Kristen might do that. I'm the introvert operations girl, but maybe I'll put that out there.
I think that's why y'all are so good together. And I think one of the reasons that it's initially there's a charm when I think people meet or are introduced to you and your sister. And I don't know, you can't fake that kind of thing. And I think that's really cool.
Well, we are genuinely having a good time. We're good. We know each other's strengths, and we're having a great time. And I think that is just what keeps us going.
I love it. Well, Andee, thank you for being here today. I know you were busy. We were just talking before we started the interview of all the expansion and plans that you have. You have all the best well wishes coming from down here in Texas up there. I need to make it back up there. It's been too long. And so I'll let you know when we do that. But thank you for being with us today, Andee.
Super fun. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Andee. Good to see you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.